Now, in 2003, Turkey had its, 2002-2003, had its own economical crisis. Normally the inflation was, on an average, per year, 70%, 80%. And it was very difficult for the insurers to work with such a high inflation. And in end of 2002, we had a very big bank crisis, and the inflation overnight went up to 1,000%, 900%. And it was very, very difficult to monitor the market. So what happened at that time, since now it's the same thing, there's a fierce competition in the premiums. Everybody is decreasing the premiums, and it's still the same problem today. So what happens? What does the general manager or the board of the insurance companies do? They say, press on the claims. We must decrease the claims, but you tell the claim department, they will tell the technical department, increase the premiums. So this is a vicious circle that never stops, and at the end of the day, you have to control your claims. Normally, insurance companies, until 2003, they made a very high income on the financial results. They never looked on the claim side. And in around 2003, in January, when the inflation went down to one figure, all the results were very bad for the insurance companies. And immediately, they started thinking, what can we do to improve our claim averages? And Turkey is a very special place because in Turkey, the customers, they take their cars to the garage, and it's the service or garage who makes the claim declaration. So they never call the insurance company, so it's a very difficult market to monitor. Of course, you have their casco products, traffic policies, which are very mandatory. And you will see from those figures that many customers, they go to private services, non-agreed services. So it was a big mess. So how do you control your claims as an insurance company when you have, it's a big country, 81 regions, and people are going to services, their garages, what they want. So what was the challenge? Well, the classical method, which I think is the same in, I'm not very sure, but in the Middle East, is that you have international companies that are offering spare part catalogs, labor catalogs for references. But at the end of the day, what you have to do, you have to empower the insurance companies, which means that you don't pay the claim afterwards. You decide, the insurance company decides how the claim will be paid. And this is the biggest difference that was made in the Turkish market. The insurance company, the claim department decided how this claim will start. And this made a big difference because from then, in 2003, until now, the average claim went down by 30%. This is a very important figure, 30%. And so how do you do this? You have to, of course, you have to have a good software, you have to have a good operation, everything, but you also have to realize that the local realities and the dynamics of the country is very important, which is the fundamental issue. Therefore, we, as OtoAnaliz, with the industry, we prepared a software, but this software is a tool to reach your target. But you also have to put all the third-party players in the system if you want to decrease your claims. Okay? So how do you do this? Well, who are the real players in the market? They are the loss adjusters. They are the services, garages, agreed car glass dealers, original spare part dealers, alternative spare part dealers, mini repair companies, which I will come to very soon. You have in-house and in-house internal, external controllers, investigators. All of these third parties must be connected online to the system when the claim happens, because they all have a mission and a job to do when the claim occurs. So we have many products which I will not go into detail today, but what I have to tell you is that in the Turkish market, 80% of our customers, they use all these modules. And today, it is why it's important for us, because it's not just the local Turkish companies. But today, all the foreign companies, headquarters, they are coming all around the world to Turkey to look at this product. And they've chosen this system, this procedure as one of the best practices in the world. So, what is the method? Okay, now, as you know, an invoice, a claim happens, somebody repairs the car, brings the invoice, and we pay. So, we pay. As an insurance company, we just pay. But should we really pay that amount? So, when you look at the claims, you say to yourself, 1 second. All insurance companies, they employ people, administrative people, who manage the claims. But when you look at the Turkish market in 2003, there was not a single staff who understood about the cars. No technical people. We pay billions of dollars in claim, but when you go to the insurance company, you look for a staff that understands, technical person, there is nobody in the insurance company. So this had to change, which meant that in the insurance companies, a new department was created called the logistic department. The claim department is responsible for processing and the payment, but the logistic people coming from the car industry, employed by the insurance companies, they were the decision makers because they understood all the process, how the car was manufactured, how the parts were sold, what are the original parts, what are the alternative parts, what is a block exemption, what does the European block exemption say for a part. If you don't know about these things, you just pay, and you don't know what you're paying for. So you need technical people inside the insurance company. Now, this is the biggest first revolution for the insurance companies. Second of all, we know that authorized dealers, of course, it's in their interest to sell parts. And we know that authorized dealers, they get bonus for selling a lot of parts. An authorized dealer will never repair a part. Their target is to change the part. So what had to be done in the Turkish market, you have to balance the market, which means that the insurance companies, they have to support, encourage the local importers. Very important for original and for alternative parts. Because when the insurance companies encourage local importers and alternative parts, automatically the car manufacturers, they maintain or they decrease their parts because you create competition. This cannot be done just by one insurance company. The market must do this. This is very important. And second of all, we must encourage the private garage, private services. You have to put them through a certification because they will repair less parts. Let me give an average. When we started in 2003, authorized dealers changed 13, 14 parts on an average. And private garages, they change 6 or 7 parts. Because of the private garages' existence in Turkey, now the authorized dealers are changing 10 to 11 parts. 3 parts more, less, which is important. So you have to create a balance in the market. Now, of course, when you talk to insurance companies, they will tell you, oh, it's small claims, not important. Let's pay the claims, small claims, and let's not deal with the paperwork, bureaucracy, and let's concentrate on the big claims. But in actual fact, small claims, they make 60 to 70% of the claims. And they are the most important claims because that's where you lose the money. So in Turkey, what we did with the industry, we have 3 methods for the small claims and 2 other methods for the other claims, which I'll explain to you. Of course, authorized dealers, they would like to change the part. Private garages, they would also like to change the part, maybe more repair the part than to change it. But in the world, there's a new technology today called the mini repair technology. And today, big car manufacturers are using this technology, and they are telling their dealers to put this technology in the system. In Turkey, what we did, the insurance company has a module and tells its own agreed services, I will give you a technology, a program, when a customer comes in, first you have to upload the photo, open the file, and through the internet, you must send this information to me. This information comes first to the insurance company, to the claim department. The claim department looks at the claim, decides if this is going to be a mini repair or a midi repair. Why it's important? Because normally a service will tell you, I will repair this for $100. But with the mini technology, a small scratch, a small dent, you can repair it for $15, $20 with the new technology. So you have to encourage your services to buy this technology because it can be repaired very quickly and for very cheap. So the insurance companies say to the service, do it with the mini repair. If it's not a mini repair, they tell them, do it with a midi repair. A midi repair is claims just with the labor cost, no changing part. And all the labors are prefixed by the insurance company. So there is no bargaining, there is no discussion, there is no fighting. Because for each model, for each part, you know this has to be repaired at this labor cost. Why this is important? Because as you know, all the claims are small claims. Now this is, let's say it's not a mini repair, it's not a midi repair, but you have to change the part. So the insurance industry found a new module. It's called Auto Small Claims Agreed Services, which means, because here you have to think now 3 levels. You have to think about customer satisfaction, you have to think about the productivity, and you also have to think about the insurance company earning discounts, paying less. So these 3 must be in line, because if you try to reduce the claims and make the customer unhappy, then you will lose the customer. So this, you have to keep in mind these 3 points. So what did the industry do? The industry opened to 5,000 garages the system and told them, I will not send a loss adjuster, because the loss adjuster, I have to send the information. He has to go to the garage after 2 days. Then he has to look at it and will respond in 2-3 days. The customer is unhappy. We know up to $1,000, average claim in Turkey is around about $1,000, $1,100. So up to $1,000, no adjuster is sent. Immediately to the garage, puts the information, uses the catalog, spare part, the labor, and passes the information to the insurance company. The logistic department, people who understand about the cars, on the system, they say, I accept this, I don't accept this. Don't change this, repair this. And they immediately respond. Average response time of the service to the insurance company is 15 minutes. And to agree on the claim file, it's 45 minutes. Customer is very happy, the garage is very happy. So, until 2004, insurance companies, they paid directly the service for the spare part and for the labor. But they were the biggest customers for the car manufacturers. They were paying billions of dollars in spare part, but they had no say in the industry because the services invoiced the spare part. As OtoAnaliz, we told them we should change the role of the game, and the insurance companies should become the customer and not the thousands of individual garages. And immediately this system changed, and I believe that for an insurance company to be very successful, spare parts must be sent or at least managed by the insurance company. Of course, they don't do it, they outsource it to companies like us. Give you an average. Original with logo, they get 25% discount. This is a very important number. When you go to original without logo, which means like Bosch, Hella, they will give you 45% discount. Then you have alternative parts, certificated or not certificated, 60% discount. You must not forget, a claim, 65% of a claim is spare part. And when you get on average 30-35% discount, it's a big number for an insurance company. Second of all,